Is the machine running? Okay. Well, my name is William J. Pratt, and I'm what you would call a legal examiner for this county of Hillsborough, state of, well, you know where we are. My job is basically to examine dead bodies as a physician and determine the cause of death. My work is fairly routine, I guess, most of it being cancer, old age, and heart attacks. But every once in a while you stumble upon something that is fairly odd and disconcerting. This is the moment where you would find yourself starting to investigate and find out whether or not there is a suspicion of a wrongful death. In those cases, you collaborate quite strongly with the police force, so this is the interesting part of my job. The most difficult and rewarding cases being those involving any sorts of poison and drugs. Well, you know, I only meet my customers after they're gone, so to speak, so human contact is kind of limited, you know. You have to touch them in the most intimate places, cut them open sometimes, and you never meet them. The secrets you discover are mostly the ones that we're trying to hide, but you would still only guess what this person was really about, you know. Fantasy of mine. Of course, when you're young, you always dream of some sort of miracle, you know. A young person supposed to be dead that you would be able, in the nick of time, to resuscitate, you see. But once you get older, those fantasies tend to fade. They're just not realistic, I guess. And in this work, you become very realistic. No, I'd say that my hope would be to find out about the human heart. You know, this is an almost perfect machine, fascinating, very complex, but still working 24 hours a day for numerous decades. So it would be interesting, you know, to find out what actually makes it stop. Not technically, of course, because we know all that, but more philosophically speaking. The grief, the loneliness, the lack of hope, the disappointment. What brings it to the point where it becomes too much to bear. And also, on the other hand, what makes a person so heartless is to kill another human being. What brings on the rage, frustration, hatred to make this happen? And what does this heart, this wonderful machine, feel afterwards? Anguish, guilt, fear, or nothing at all? So these are the questions that go through my head while I look at them day after day, year after year. I examine them, I try to understand them, I search their souls, and mostly, you know, what you find is silence. Silence and the screaming void. But this suits me fine, you know. I'm a God-fearing, quiet man. I got my family, and they know almost nothing about what I do or why I'm doing it. I guess they really prefer not to ask any questions. So I go on with my business, examining people as tactfully as I possibly can. I'm hovering over those bodies like the vulture, like the grave digger that I am. Wondering if one day, in any mysterious way, one of them will speak to me. figure. As long as they're not talking, at least they're telling the truth, I guess. Well, that's it. I'm done, I reckon. You can stop that thing now.